Hello all, welcome to Richie Does. I've just got a companion 45 litre fridge freezer in the mail. Arrived on doorstep when I got home from work. It's the Black Ice one. Can't find much about these on the internet, so we're going to do an unboxing and check out what we've got. So we've got it's got Bluetooth control. It's portable apparently. Maximum cooling efficiency down to minus 18 degrees. USB outlet, auto changeover to AC/DC. Premium insulation, tough exterior, metal exterior and construction. Protective cover included. Now this one has the Bluetooth like it says. Bluetooth app control, so you can change temperature from your phone or whatever. And that's the kitty there. Like I say, there's not much on the internet about these, so not sure what we're going to find when we get in there. It adds a bit more. So we've got a electronic panel, internal LED, AC and DC power, basket. Let's open it up, see what we got. Alright. Alright. There it is. Okay. Okay, inside we have decent wire cables for the lid stay, two baskets, there's the cover, take that out, another basket there with the cords and loser's manual in there, and the light, not sure how that turns on and off yet because I don't see a switch around there. Good quality seals, they are good. Don't think they're magnetic, it doesn't feel like they're magnetic, but they might be. No, not magnetic, that's alright. Okay, we've got a drain bung in the corner. Yep. Do not eat. Alright, so decent height there. Let's measure that. Internal dimensions. We have 390 mil from bottom to top. And in the smaller section it is 160 mil, and then we have internal measurement of just under 510 mil by 260 mil. That's not bad. Yeah, it looks pretty good so far. Alright, we'll have a look at the instruction manual. Alright, couple of baskets. Yes, it's wire baskets. Got the transport cover or extra insulation cover, if you whatever you want to call it. Feels pretty good. It's got some insulation in there for sure, some foam. Got some vents for the fan, I would assume, the lid lid pouch. Zippers look okay. Yeah, zippers look okay. Probably not the best, but they're okay. I think time will tell. Okay, we've got the standard cigarette lighter connector. We'll have a look at this later, because I saw in the older versions of this fridge that there's some poor connections inside this connector, so we might take that apart and have a look. As for the mains connector, looks pretty good, standard. Cable seems okay. Black Ice fridge freezers, 45, 65, 80 litre. So this will tell us how to hook it up to the Bluetooth and things in here. So the dual zone has cabinet lids. We don't have that on this model. That's okay. 30-degree tilt angle we can accept by the looks of this. It's not too bad. Okay, warranty card and the operations. So we'll go through that a little bit later. So yeah, shows you how to hook it up, solar panel, generator, smart charger, all into the battery, and then obviously this battery into the fridge, where you can hook up the 240 volt to your generator. Your external dimensions here. We're on 45 litre, weighs 21 kilos according to this. Positive 10 to negative 18. We'll see how we go with that. We'll put a thermometer in that later. That's something I just noticed, guys. The drain hole, when I pulled the little bung out, is cracked. You see that? It's cracked all around it. That's not good. So that's not going to seal properly, because the bung just sits there and the crack is still exposed. So if we have a look underneath, you can see also, let's get a torch in there, that it's cracked in there as well. That's not ideal. I'll contact them about that, see what they say. So straight out of the box, broken drain hole. Alright, well we're going to try and hook up the Bluetooth now and run it, and then I'm going to leave it running overnight. Okay guys, just plugged it into mains power for the very first time, and it came straight up with 15 degrees. I'm guessing that's what it's sensing at the moment inside there, and we have a blue light. Blue light. That's quite snazzy. Okay, so just next to that light is, I'm guessing, the thermostat. So it's reading 15. Let's blow on it. Still reading 15. Let's see. Put a torch lighter next to it, and let's just see if that climbs up. So we just clocked 16. and the compressor's just cut in. Just had the compressor cut in. Pretty quiet. Okay, so there's your thermostat. You hear that? It's not bad. A little bit of a slushing noise in there as the refrigerant's circulating. That's pretty quiet. Alright, let's hook up the Bluetooth. Okay, just checking this light in here when it comes on. So you've got about an inch of opening there at the very front of the lid, and then the light comes on at about 1.5 inches. Bang. So there's no chance of that staying on. So I'm guessing there's some sort of sensor in this end that would be picking that up. I can't see any external switching and there's no internal switching. It must be in this block somewhere. That's pretty good. Okay guys, so reading a little bit about in the manual, when you plug it directly in, it measures the internal cabin temperature as we expected. We have the set up and down buttons here. So it's going to play about with those now. So it's running at the moment. We've just dropped to 14 degrees. We'll see. So nothing if you just press it. So it's measuring the internal cabin temperature, okay? So let's press set. And then down, no. Set and hold maybe? Yep. Okay, so it's set to 3 degrees. Let's go down, 2, 1. Let's go all the way. Okay, so it's looking at minus 22 degrees here. Now, it says that it goes down to minus 18. Okay, so we've got the set temperature at minus 22 at the moment. It's currently 14 degrees. Yep, so still reading minus 22. Okay, so that's operating it. Ooh, that's operating it by these controls. You can set the battery cut in or out voltage here. It suggests setting it to low when you're plugged into DC, the vehicle. So it says here low is cut out at 10.3, cuts back in at 11.4 volts. So that's your battery voltage. When it drops to 10.3 it will cut out. When it comes back up to 11.4 it will cut back in. If you have it set to medium, there's your readings. If you have it set to high, you've got a cut out voltage of 11.6 volts and a cut back in voltage of 12.7. Now I really can't see why you'd have it set to the high. The battery voltage reaching 11.6 and it cuts out, and it'll only cut back in at 12.7. That's too high. I would probably have it set to low, just reading through this, but if your battery voltage drops to 10.3, you're probably only going to be able to start your car anyway. It's got 24 volts system here. We won't worry about that. We're going to hook up to the Bluetooth now. Okay, so we dropped to minus 13 now. I'm going to keep that running. Okay guys, so we're going to download the app. It says in the manual, visit the Apple Store or Google Play and search Black Ice. Locate the free Black Ice app and download and install. So let's give that a go. Go Black Ice fridge, guessing. Okay, the Black Ice app. Okay, companion, hit install. Skip that. wait for it to download. Take long, open. Let's see what we got. This is an Android phone, by the way. Deny location. Don't ask again. Okay, continue. Wait for something to happen. Just while this is thinking, I had the fridge set to 1 degree. I changed it to 1 degree set temperature. Left it for about 45 minutes, came back, and it was reading 3 degrees on here. And I've got an internal thermometer running at the moment, and it said 5 degrees. And that's set at roughly mid-height in the largest section. So it's a couple of degrees warmer inside than it's actually reading, and like I said, I had it set to 1 degree and it didn't cut in until it hit 4 degrees. So you've got a 3 degree discrepancy before it cuts in, and it's about 4 degrees warmer inside than your set temperature. Just thought I'd mention that. This isn't doing anything at the moment, and maybe we'll go back. It's frozen. Oh, it is a freezer, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, this time I'll allow the location. It's doing something different now. I'm guessing you need to allow it to know where you are, which is strange. Okay, so 003F, I think. Yep, guessing it's that one. Okay, 000E3F. Verification code. Just going to write that down. Okay, just hit continue. Okay, so it's come straight up, and the little Bluetooth light is flashing on the fridge, a little green light flashing, so I'm guessing it's connected. It's already said current temp 1 degree, which is what I do have it set to. Battery protection is set to low, and cooling speed is set to maximum, which is what I have the settings on the fridge. So I'm just going to have a look at the fridge quickly. So it cut back in and it's come back down to 1 degree, and that's what the set temperature is here. I'm just going to check the thermometer inside the fridge. And that's actually reading 1 degree, exactly 1 degree. So that's not bad. It's just dropped down to 0, but it's saying 1 degree in the fridge, so I don't know. Maybe it's not as bad as we first thought. Okay, let's just have a little play with these settings. So we got 1 degree, so current temp 0 degrees, and we're set to 1 degree here. Let's try and turn it up, 2 degrees, 3 degrees, and I will just show you what the fridge is doing as well at the same time. Okay, so it's currently at 0 degrees, it's saying there. Current temperature is 0 degrees on here. Set it to 3 degrees. So let's just turn that up to, I don't know, 5 degrees. There, straight away, it's gone up to 5 degrees on there. So that's your set temperature. At the moment it's 0, and when it was flashing there it was 5 degrees. So we'll turn that back down to 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go to 0. Alright, 0 degrees. Alright, set temp. Seems to be working well. There was no issues with the connection there at all, which I was pleased with. So let's have a little play here with the, so maybe we can power it off. Yep, straight away power off. So you need to be careful with that, that you don't power that off if you're out and about. I'll power that back on. Straight away it came back up, see that? I'll power it off again, power on, straight back up. That's really pretty good, isn't it? Alright, so we are, current temperature inside is 0 and it's set to 0. Every now and then the little Bluetooth light flashes. Okay, so we'll leave that there. Seems to be working. I guess you can turn Bluetooth on or off here, and that's it. So we'll come out of that. Okay, something I wanted to show you guys just about the connector that we have for the 12-volt system. I mentioned that there was a write-up on the previous fridge from Companion that there was poor connections inside this 12-volt connector, cigarette lighter connector. So I just took the screw out and we'll have a little look. On here there's actually an arrow that points clockwise, I guess. If you look at it that way, it points clockwise. So I'll just give that a little turn. So I've taken the little grub screw out, just a Phillips head grub screw. Give that a turn and that should pop off with a bit of encouragement, like that. Have a little look what we got. Okay, that actually looks pretty good. So we've got screw fittings for the positive negative, decent gauge cable in there, but one thing I will mention, there is a glass fuse here. Now it did mention in the manual that there's 2 fuses in this fridge. So just to recap, the power input socket is fitted with a 15 amp blade fuse for protection. That's for the 12 volt. Now, just looking at this, I don't think that's 15 amp, I think that's 5. Little glass fuse. Just here. Operating your fridge freezer with 240 AC. So the power input socket is fitted with a 15 amp DC blade and a 5 amp 250 volt glass fuse for protection. So the DC blade, this one, DC cord, so there's a 5 amp in here, and it's saying that there's a blade fuse as well, so we'll have a quick look for that. Alright guys, so a couple of little things that I've noticed. This negative terminal here, it's not quite crimped properly in here. Probably can't see that, it's very small, but I'm just going to give it a little nip up, because what I don't want is that coming loose while I'm out on the road. So I'm just going to grip it, just give it an extra crimp, nice and hard. There, okay, so we've got that crimped. I don't want to interfere with this one, it's heat shrunk, that's obviously the positive. These clips where it mates to the inside of the cigarette lighter, the negative side, pretty strong pieces of metal, so that's good, they're not going to break. Something I will say, these glass fuses, I would take a couple of spares with me, especially if you're going a long way away. Now just to replace them, actually notice you pull this little end off and you can just pick this fuse out. Now on it says T10L 250 volt. Other side says 5T. Just going to measure that for you. So if you need to get one, got the measurements at hand. Okay, so that is it's about 19 mil long, just under 20 mil long. Okay, now the blade fuse that they mentioned in the manual, I can't find it, but I did find something a little bit sneaky. So we'll just come around here. Now where the power connectors go in, so you've got the 12 volt there for your vehicle connection to the cigarette lighter. This is your mains connection, and just under here, if you just get a screwdriver in there, and just, it's a bit tricky, but you've got to pull it out. It's like a little drawer. It's hard to find, and they don't mention it in the manual. Now there's a spare fuse in there at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. Actually, two fuses in there. So there's a spare one in this bottom section here, but this top one actually makes the connection inside here. Metal connectors are in there, if you can see that. So that is the fuse, which is this top one, the spare one in there, and yeah, so we're just going to have a look at what that one says on it. And that just unclips. Alright, that one says slightly different. That says 250V, T8AL 250V, so 250 volt with the T8AL in front of it. Nothing on the other end. Just going to pop that back in there, and I'll measure that one as well. So if you need to buy a new one, so we are same length, not 20 mil. All right, I'm just going to pop that back in. You can come with me. All right, so just going to slide that back in its little drawer, so you know where it is, because I didn't see that with the connector in there especially. All right. So just back to our little cigarette lighter connection. So done all that, we know what fuses we need as spares. Just going to put that one back in, just clip that in there, get the little end, just push it in there and clip it over. So as you plug it into the cigarette lighter, obviously that is sprung loaded like that, but be careful, that might ping out. Alright, so just going to put this back together, make sure it's nice and cozy in there. Okay, let's put that on there. Pretty happy with the quality so far, to be honest. Put that on there and twist it the other way. Okay, and that's not going anywhere. It's all tightened up. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, make sure these springs work, and don't forget your grub screw. Just little Phillips. Okay. Alright. So that's that. Okay, I won't test it on the bench here because I need to plug that into the car, but I'm sure it's going to work pretty well. Just on the cracked drain hole. Now I called the company that I purchased the fridge through, and that was Tent World. Now I think their head office is in Queensland. They've got one on Ferntree Gully in Victoria, and I think they've got a couple elsewhere, but I actually bought it online as a special. I called them up and explained the situation about the cracked drain hole, and they were apologetic. I said, look, it's probably a manufacturing issue. They said send them photographs and they will get back to me as soon as possible with what they want me to do. So I've sent them photographs and I'm just going to wait for them to get back to me. The fridge operates as it should. It seems very sturdy. Time will tell whether it's a good unit or not. I'm expecting good things from it. Now we're just going to look at a few extra items on this that we haven't talked about. Now the actual build of the fridge itself. Now it's pretty solid. It's a good looking fridge. It's solid. Like I said, time will tell how good it is actually going to be. And just looking at these handles, sprung loaded. They seem very sturdy. You've got a locating rivet here, which I guess they just locate into the fridge. There's no bolt there, but then it's got strong it's like 8mm bolts here, 8mm Phillips heads, 2, 3, 4 of them, and a screw here. Same the other side. The latch is very good, spring loaded. I operated that one-handed easily. There's only one latch on it, which I like. As I said, the seal is very good inside. For the lid, it's got bump edges on them. We'll put the protective cover on and see what it looks like then, but I'm pretty happy with it actually. So far so good. It says here 36-month nationwide warranty. I actually called Tent World before I bought this online and I asked them if something does go wrong with it, what is the warranty situation? Do I need to mail it back somewhere, or how do they actually take care of that? And they said to me that if I got in touch with Tent World, who I bought it through, they would get me in contact with a dealer support that Companion use in the area. Now that'll be I guess a refrigeration specialist. They'll look at it and decide fix it or replace it, I guess. Settings for your cooling speed. I had it set to max. It got down to temperature within half an hour, and that was down to 1 degree with nothing in it, so that's pretty good. We have this external USB socket which states that it is a 2.1 amp. Alright, I'll put the cover on it and we'll leave it there. We've done a small repair on this. Probably didn't need to be done, to be honest. I seem pretty happy with it, but I don't want it failing later on. I may cut this off and put a different type of connector on this, because I have had these back out of the socket previously, so rough terrain especially. I mean, if you wanted to, you could leave this on, plug it into the socket. I have external sockets everywhere in my vehicle, and I just have it like that, and then I tape it so it can't come out. Alright, you could do that, or you could change the socket yourself. It's 12 volt, nothing's going to happen. It's pretty straightforward, positive, negative. It's very straightforward in there. The cable gauge is pretty good. Very happy with that. Lengthwise, I'll just measure it for you and let you know that. And is 1800. So 1800 millimeters, well 1820 really, so just over 1.8 meters. So that's not too bad. One thing I will do is go back into that and change the setting for the modes. Okay, so right there I've just plugged it back in after it's been unplugged for a while, and the set temperature has returned to 0, which is where I had it set. So let's just try that again. Yep, so it's still set to 0, so I don't know how long the memory lasts with its last setting. I'm assuming it would lose it at some point, I'm not sure, or maybe it just hooks up to the Bluetooth straight away, I don't know. But it was pretty quick to find that it was back to 0. So we'll just get back into the Bluetooth system. Searching again. Searching. Okay, so we got the fridge back up again. So I couldn't find it before. Maybe it needed a little while. So we found the Black Ice fridge. Hit that. Okay, so we're back to where we were. So 0, and it's still sitting at 0. Okay, so battery protection. Let's go into battery protection, and then we'll put that to high. And straight away it changed. So we've got high battery protection now, which means, looking at the manual, cuts out at 11.6 volts and back in at 12.7. I'm going to set it to low just for now. See if we can change the cooling speed normal, and it's changed straight away on the actual setting, so that's good. I think we've done everything we sort of can now on that. So I'll connect it to my vehicle, and if there's any issues with it I will get back on and give you an update, guys. Alright, so we'll put the cover on it now. Alright guys, I didn't want to film myself putting the cover on, it was a bit silly. It literally took me 1 minute or less to fit this cover. Very simple. Make sure you've got the companion writing set to the front where the controls are, laid out. Obviously companion part to the front. Put the fridge obviously on it, and just wrap it up like a Christmas present really. Now it is more of a transit case, I'll be honest. It's not thick insulation, it's probably 2mm thick, 2.5mm thick foam in there. It's got zips all round, so you just do that. It's double zip. Okay, so that's it. That's your transit cover. Alright, so these zips go all the way around and down. So it's actually really easy to fit. It completely opens up. Alright, but to actually access it, you're going to have to unzip it all the way to the back, which isn't a big deal. I mean, if you camp somewhere, you're going to leave it like this, right? Pull the latch. Now the lid stays down fine. I mean, it's sealed. You're only going to latch it if you're driving around. Okay, so you can leave it like that really, and then you have and you can just lift it up. It opens fine with the cover still attached all the way, and there you go. It's completely open. I haven't got it plugged in at the moment, that's why the light's not working. That's it. Close it up. You'll need to use the handles as tie downs. There's no other tie down points on this. I can't see any issue with this. They're strong handles. They seem one piece until up here maybe. So I think if you strapped it going this way and this way down, you'd be fine. It seems like a good fridge, except for that bung that's cracked, which I'll get back to you on that once Tent World have decided what they want to do. Other than that, we'll put the cages back in and leave it at that, I think.